Morning, peeps. Another Saturday. I watched a video this past week. The lady was talking about her to-do list, and she was talking about how she had a lot of things on that list that just get pushed down. And I don't know, it was just the content of her video that struck me, and just put a big old smile on my face because I could relate. I got a to-do list that if I tried to go through it, it would be take me a couple months and I wouldn't get half of it done, and it'd be really a downer. I don't want my videos to be downers. That's not my intent. But at the same time, I don't want to be, I don't want to stand up and think I give the impression that I'm some kind of Superman too, because I'm not. But anyway, I wanted to make a video about my long list of projects and them not being done. Because, well, my days are too short, my energy level's too low, and things change when you're in the middle of a project and you gotta do something else. It's like right now, I came outside with the intention of working on some stuff, and electric fence over there is snapping. So, before any other projects get worked on, I gotta go deal with that. Cause I want the electric fence around the chicken coop. I don't have to stand at 10 feet off the chicken coop to make the wire work. I want it to be like really close to the chicken coop. So then anything that decides and wants to climb up, they get to touch it with their nose. Yeah. So, yeah, like I said, I got a long list of projects I want to do. It's like this one right here behind me. This rabbit hutch. I built that thing. It's really huge. I had an intention when I built it, and well, we're not raising rabbits now. We do have a rabbit, but we're not raising rabbits. But that chicken coop is like super duper big, but the legs are like kindling. So the legs are falling off from under it, so I gotta get that thing moved. We want to try to sell it since we're not going to use it, but I've got to get it moved. Well, that's been on my project list for quite a while now. That my biggest failure on my project list is keeping control of the yard. I did a good job at that. So that's a couple things on my list right off the bat. We want to turn this carport itself into an outdoor kitchen space. We want to screen it in, put a better roof on it. The roof is you run your sheet metal with the ridges long ways, so it acts like Perlon, so it's a little bit stronger. But the thing is, the water runs off the ends, so you can't really collect water in gutters because it's, how do you do that? So anyway, we had that. Guess you could somehow manage to make gutters over there work, but because of the ridges, that's where the water runs off, it's at the ends. I didn't know that. I never realized that until I moved here. So, we want a rainwater collection. Well, that's one of the projects right there that, it can't get done until we can afford Perlons, hat rail, 2x4, whatever it is. But when we do that, we also have to turn the metal the other way. So, that metal has got holes in it now when I turn it. So, yeah. So, I don't know. We possibly could reuse it because it's only got metal like 5 feet apart. Only got holes like 5 feet apart. So we might be able to make that work. But it's on the project list. It's something I want to get done. That roof, that other carport we have in the garage, all three have the same kind of roof. So anyway. So let's go over here and look at the fence to see what it's doing to me this morning. And like I said, one of the things I want to do is maintain this grass. It rained all night last night, so the grass is too wet now. And it's just not something we can do on the project list. There's a couple old IBC totes I got a project I'm going to work on this morning. I'll try to, because I need to try to pick up that scrap when I'm just getting buried in the weeds. So anyway, that's the project I want to work on. Chimney. It's a project that needs to be done before winter. I don't know if it will get done before winter, but it's a project that needs to get done before winter. I come over here to look at the fence, And it wants to stop hitting now. Oh, let's see what it's doing here. And it's hitting, so that means it's still going to knock you down. That might not be hard to fix. That tube, that plastic tube right there filled up with water because of the rain. So now it's shorting out the fence right at the fence. Alright, that might be easy enough to fix. It's not hitting nowhere else, but anything that wants to climb up it, it's going to get a 14.1 snap in the nose. So, I don't think anything wants to climb up that. And this is the reason why we have this fence. Hardwood cloth at the bottom and wire around about the middle of the fence. Yeah, ducks. This is a temporary home for the poor things. They need a home of their own. Another project on the list. So let's go in here to the chicken coop. Let's see what's going on in here. I still got projects to do on this poor old chicken coop. Alright, let's check the fence. Yeah, it's running at 0 or 14. This could be a simple fix. And yes, I didn't turn it off. Hello, fence. Are you hot? I think I fixed it. What did I do? I just shoved that piece of plastic through there. So now I hear no snapping. No snappy. Well, this is really seriously grounded. It won't snap then. Let's see what it's doing now. Oh yeah. That'll get their attention. Okay, well, that project was accomplished. What other projects do we have going on? Another project that we need to get accomplished before winter is a whole lot more firewood. We got a little bit, but we need a whole lot more. And we don't have a log splitter. I need to put an engine on the log splitter. I don't know when that project will get accomplished because money. Now, a couple projects down here that I would like to get accomplished that probably ain't going to get to this year. I want to put a package shack right about here. A package shack. You know, I want it to look better than that thing over there. That was basically a failure. But I want to put a package shack right about here. That way we get stuff from Walmart, wherever. And the delivery people will have a place to put their stuff. They don't have to wait for us to come out, or we don't have to worry about it being in the rain, the snow, whatever it's got a spot to be. And of course, I want that hooked up so when they open the door, we get a notification in the house, like a ringtone or something. I mean, a ring bell, whatever it's called. Over here in this poke salad, next to that tree, we want a farm stand, and in the poke salad is the floor, the foundation for it. Well, that's on the project list. That's something I want to do. So, yeah, it's not done yet. Because we want a farm stand. Then, down here, where all these bushes are, and that poke salad is, there is the remains of a flower bed. There are some irises in there and stuff like that. So, we want that cleaned up so that when the farm stand is here, they'll have something to look at besides all of this. The failure with the lawnmower is not so much the lawnmower. That lawnmower is tough. It's the batteries. It's the rain, which, thank God, don't get me wrong. The rain is a blessing. It really is. The 40-hour weeks. My lack of energy levels. So, anyway, there's a lot of reasons why this yard is not kept up, and it's not just because of the lawnmower, or lack thereof. Because when that lawnmower is hooked up into batteries, and the batteries have fully charged, fresh off the charger. That thing's got some meat. It will do it. But the way it is right now, those batteries go down quick. All right. So the trailer is another project on the to-do list because the trailer was involved in an accident. Whacked the road. Oh, hi. I don't want to mess you up. There's no spider in you, though. It's kind of cool. All the little bugs that was in it. But anyway, the lights got screwed, so I got to fix that. I got something to fix it with. I got the lights that I want to put on it, and I got some steel so I can put columns on the back end of it to help stiffen up these cattle pounds. Yeah, that's on the project list. Of course, I'm going to have to rewire it when I do that. I did finally get a jack on it, though. So anyway, that's a piece of rebar I forgot I had. This here is the remains of the pigging. And I got T-posts up through there, and I got old pig shack. Well, I want all these weeds gone. But it's not on the project list today, but it is on the project list. I scarfed up an air conditioner off the side of the road. That's scrap. I got these plastic pieces here for bins. Or I should say I got a plastic piece for bins. So I want to fix that so that I can, some of this scrap I can pick up and have a place to put it. That's another thing on the project list. I am glad the fence fixed itself. That was a good thing. So I'm not saying all this to say, hey, you know what? It's just, it's kind of sideways kind of way, I guess. It's things can get done. I'm not the only one that's struggling. Oh, that's another project too. That table right there. I need to get it in the garage. Yeah, that's on the project list too. But anyway, there's just a lot of things that that just need time, and I don't really have that much time. So anyway, let me work on projects. My biggest project right now is to build a door so I can get the chickens out. They need space, and I think they can go in the yard now. Alright, so vision is coming together. I want a sliding door on the chicken coop so that the chickens, when we go out, all we have to do is open the door and slide it. I don't want to slide up and down. I want to slide back and forth. So I think it'll just end up being better. So if I do that, I could make it slide up and down, but it would end up being better, I think, if it slid side to side. So this is a piece of, ½ inch. Yeah, it's a top of a crate, I do believe. Anyway, it's been sitting in the garage for forever. And what I want to do, I don't need this whole thing, but since it's got this one by on it attached to it, I'll use this as the frame for the panel that I got to build, because I got to have a temporary door for now until the back doors of the coop or brooder are built so that I can swing them out, because that's what I want to do eventually, is swing them out. That way we can ventilate it, clean it, and all kinds of stuff. But that project is not here yet. So this, I'll work until I get that done. Yeah, let me get that picture of what this looks like. Alright, so I now have a panel that I want to use. And I'm going to make the door out of this. This has already got a 1x on it. So I need to incorporate that 1x into the door, I do believe. And now I got to find a spacer, because I want to be able to put a spacer on that. Like I said, that's a 1x4, so it's 3.5 inches. So the border of the thing is 3.5 inches. That's how much space you can use. So let me work on this. See what we got going on. Alright, so now I've got this. I've got the bottom of the door. This is going to be cut out. Bottom of the door marked, the top of the door is going to be, it's going to sit on here something like this. It's about an inch overhang on either side, approximately about like that. So gotta see if I can get that one by and that one by off of this piece of plywood, and I can frame out the rest of this door. And I gotta get a spacer to go around on 3 sides of this thing. And at the bottom right here, I want to leave a gap, just a little bit of a gap, so that when this door is sliding, any trash debris that's in the track theoretically will go down that gap right there, and it won't clog up the track. That's the theory. Anyway, I'll run a board here, have, like I said, have a little gap here, maybe an inch, 2 inches, something like that, so that when you're pushing this door in and out, you're pushing that against there. And I'll have a spacer across the top, across this side, bottom side, and I'll have a piece on top of it to make a track. And I think that'll work, because we probably won't open this door all the way, and so probably won't do that. Anyway, here we go. Progress. Alright, so now the door's been made. Door opening's been cut. I need to make the frame the spacer for here and here and across the top. And that means I need to break out the table saw, because that's going to be the best way to do that. As I sit here building this sliding door, I have come to the conclusion, it's crossed my mind, or whatever you want to say, that possibly, just possibly, my hoarding skills, my hoarding habits is a prepper skill. Maybe. Oh, I'm alone in the open air workshop and random thoughts just float through my head. Alright, so progress is being made. Now what I gotta do is put a piece over around it like that, so when the door opens, there you go. And then this side, I'll attach it to the wall that's there temporarily. And then from the inside, I'll put sheet metal screws, because the other side's got sheet metal screws. And that door will be ready. I gotta cut the hole, of course, but this door is ready. Almost. Like I said, I gotta cut that. And like I said, I left this gap right here, so when you slide it like that, if there's any debris, shavings or whatever, they should fall down that hole. And then if you can't get them to fall down that hole, you can push them down that hole. There we go. Something like that. I try to give it enough of a gap for it to work. Yeah. Okay, I think I got it going on. Alright, so the sliding door for the chicken coop is done. Even though it kind of looks like a table right now. Let me show you what I need to do. Well, there is one other thing I need to do to make this done. And the door itself is done though. Hang on a minute. So, this mighty nice board is going to be a ramp. It needs cleats, and I need to put a cleat on the door itself so that they'll have something to prop up against, because I don't want them to have to actually step down to get out of the coop. I don't think they would trip and fall, but you never know. I don't think we want tumbled chicken, do we? So that needs cleats, and I need a cleat on the door itself. Let me show you what I'm going to do about that. What I'm thinking anyway. So I'm thinking of taking a 2x4 and putting it across here about the width of that board, the ramp.
That way when it sits down, it sits down on that, and that top edge of that ramp would be right about where my fingers are. So when they come out the door, they just basically have a smooth transition out the door. As smooth as I can make it anyway. This door itself, you can see it's 3 inches right here. So what I'll do is I'll take this so that this part is attached to the floor joist. And then this attached to the temporary wall that's there. And then from the inside, I'll put metal screws in it because the other 2 sides are metal. The next part of this project after the ramp is to cut a hole in the metal, which I'm sure the chickens will enjoy that experience. Side grinders tend to be loud. Alright, a tip moment. I was cutting the edge off this, and I didn't really want this knot in the wood, but I didn't want to go too far up. Well, that knot, or the science I don't understand, it bound up my blade. So what I gotta do now is get that unbound. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a screwdriver, drive it into that edge right there. I don't know if you can see that, but drive that in there with a hammer. Open that cut up and finish my cut. So yeah, that'll help. If you haven't already found that trick, that'll help. Alright, so I just did the math based on what I got here and the length of it. And that puts me putting a slat across there, a cleat, whatever, about every 16 inches. I think it needs to be closer. So I'll make more cleats, I guess, because I think it needs to be maybe 8 inches. Hang on a minute. So I think the cleats need to be about 8 inches apart. I think that'll work. I don't know. I'm not an engineer. And I'm not a chicken, so I don't know how much space I would want to have. But I might go with 6. I mean, going up and down the ramp, they really ain't going to use that cleat too much anyway, but it makes us feel better, so that's what we do. Alright, I got the ramp almost built. I got that far on that screw, and my battery said, nope, I'm not going to do it no more. So even though the driver was running, it didn't have enough oomph to shoot that screw all the way in. So, yeah, I'm going to put tools up. But I got the ramp done. I'll put cleats on the bottom. Perpendicular, I think is the word, to the grain. Try to keep it from turning into a smiley face and becoming basically kindling. So the ramp is done, the door is done, except for the cleat that I need to put on the bottom of the door. And other than the cleat, because I can't put it on now because I'm out of battery. I could try, I guess, but this is oak. This is a 16-inch wide board. If I didn't need it for a ramp, yeah, it'd make a nice little shelf. But I needed it for a ramp, so here we go. I nailed all my cleats on there, so I don't know how long the nails are going to hold. I may have to come back with screws and screw them on. But for now, that's what I did. So let me put this stuff up and regroup, because I ain't going to be able to do anything till I get battery now. I was talking about projects to do this morning and how the weeds have gotten over the things. And this is reminding me that we need to weed eat the fence on the pasture. So I'm going to go and do that project. Okay, so I'm back on the door to the back of the chicken coop, the ramp, putting that back up. Got sidetracked by a fence clean out, got that going. So now I'm getting ready to cut this hole for this panel. And I do some measuring. Then I got to do some sheet metal cutting. And then we can open this thing up. Well, that little project That little step in the project would have been good for a tripod. But I think if I'd had my phone sitting out here, I think it would have just melted. Because that sun's beaming. Anyway, I got the ramp. And I got the door installed. And it's operational. So, I'm going to take a break. And we're going to, I don't know if we'll release them tonight or release them tomorrow, but we're going to release chickens either tonight or tomorrow. Yeah, we're beginning the chicken release. It's all exciting in there. Got here? Ready? Ready? She's a pretty bird. Oh, what the hell just happened? Scared the fart out of her. Come on, go ahead and go down the ramp. We had a malfunction in the other side. They all ran out the brooder door. Luckily, the big door is closed, and they're not in the free range. Well, all four of the turkeys are out now. We're working on chickens now. They're not happy. Their wings have been clipped, so they can't fly out. So my cleats work. Kind of. Hello, pretty bird. Oh, hello, Floppy. How you doing, buddy? Well, there they are. Oh, in their new little space. Looking for bugs. There won't be no bugs in here in a couple of weeks. By the end of a week, they'll be gone. And of course, we got the ducks down here too. That duck's gonna have to get moved. That's the next house I got to build. It looks like we only got one drake. Looks like they're all females except for one. So, here we are. That's a good looking chickens too, by the way. I like the one over there. I call him Floppy. You know. Anyway, there's what it looks like. This thing will open a little bit wider, but this door is in the way. And what I'll have to do is, when I rebuild it, this will go into the operational swing out door right here. There'll be another swing out door over there. And then there'll be like a piece up there. But, yeah. Looking good now. As the day closes.